What exactly is going on with the Quebec Liberal Party, and what will it mean for the leader, Pablo Rodriguez? And why did Marwah Rizqy fire her chief of staff? There are more and more questions, and so far, very few answers. Joining us now is political analyst Justine McIntyre. Hi, Justine.
Hi, Maya.
So, I mean, what a week. The latest chapter in this saga, a formal legal letter from Marwah Rizqy's former chief of staff demanding to know why she was fired. And there's a deadline, so what's next here?
It is kind of the smallest thing, the least thing to expect when you're fired is to know the reason behind the firing. And that's been the big question at the heart of this controversy. I really feel like it's unfolding like a jasmine flower, a tea bloom. Really, we're getting one petal at a time. So it started with the firing, Marwah Rizqy firing the parliamentary chief of staff, Geneviève Hintz, but not giving a reason as to why she did that. And since then, there have just been so many, it's been an ongoing saga. We did hear from party leader Pablo Rodriguez yesterday addressing some of the issues that have come forward. But really at the heart of this whole thing is the question why Marwah Rizqy felt that she needed to act immediately without consulting party leader Pablo Rodriguez, and that she needed to terminate the employment of Geneviève Hintz. That's what the letter that she received from Geneviève Hintz's lawyer lays out today, that she's been given now an ultimatum to provide a reason why she made that decision, and that she has to come forward with something, or else there will be further proceedings against her.
Yeah, and there are two separate situations the party is dealing with right now, so it can be a little bit confusing to sort it all out. The Marwah Rizqy controversy is one thing, and then parallel to that, there are these text messages that were published yesterday by the Journal de Montréal. Those text messages apparently connected to the Liberal leadership race. So, you mentioned the leader, Pablo Rodriguez, his press conference. What did you make of the press conference yesterday overall in terms of his delivery? Like, was it convincing? What did you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what happens when there's a controversy, but there's a big question at the center of it that has still remains to be answered. So when Pablo Rodriguez has now said that he's going to have an external investigation to try to get to the bottom of it, but what happens is that people start coming forward with all kinds of theories, and it's in that context that there were some text messages that were shared with journalists, text messages that seemed to suggest that there may have been payment in exchange for votes for Pablo Rodriguez during the leadership race of the Liberal Party of Quebec. But there's no source attached to those text messages. Nobody has come forward. Nobody has even successfully established a connection between the firing that happened earlier and the existence of the text messages. So there's just been a tremendous amount of speculation. And that's why I say this story is still slowly unfolding. I feel like there's still more before we get to the bottom of it. And to your question, I think Pablo Rodriguez yesterday in his press conference really wanted to show that he was willing to respond to questions from journalists. He says that there's been no wrongdoing on his part, and he challenges anybody who has any information to come forward.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll definitely continue to follow that story. I want to turn now, though, to municipal politics. The new mayor, Soraya Martinez-Ferrada, meeting with her executive committee today. This has been described as a nonpartisan committee because it's not just made up of members from the mayor's own party, Ensemble Montréal. Just quickly, with about a minute left, how do you see this executive committee?
Well, it is still a partisan executive committee in the sense that most of the nominations are people from within Ensemble Montréal. There are, however, a few seats that have been attributed to other parties. So we know that Louis Miranda from Équipe Anjou is going to be there. Nancy Blanchette, who is the mayor of La Salle from Équipe La Salle, is going to be leading the mayor's table, along with the newly elected mayor of Villeray from Projet Montréal. So there's a little bit of room that's being made for some other parties at City Hall, but we do know that both Équipe Anjou and Équipe La Salle have agreements to work with Ensemble Montréal, and both of those parties did support Soraya Martinez in her bid for mayor of Montreal. So a little bit of a nod to other parties, but overall still essentially an Ensemble Montréal executive committee.
All right, Justine McIntyre, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you. As always, we appreciate your insights.
Thanks very much, Maya.